I don't imagine most people find this kind of behind the scenes stuff interesting, but we'll see. Do you have a place that you go when you need a little bit of cheering up? I actually have several places that I would go if I need some cheering up, and this happens to be one of them. So we are in Trinidad today, up in Northern California, and I did not realize it was going to be this windy. It is windy and a little bit chilly, mostly because of the wind, but a little chilly out. I think it's about 50 some degrees out, maybe 52 degrees out today, plus that pretty stiff wind makes it pretty chilly out, but that's okay. I did not actually come here to get cheered up. I'm actually quite cheery already. I like this whole area around here. Trinidad just happens to be kind of the crown jewel of the area, if you ask me. I actually came out here to do a little bit of work, but with the wind, it kind of changes my plans just a little bit, but we're going to manage. Now, normally I start these videos out introducing myself, giving my name, and I just kind of forgot to do that here this morning. Except I probably shouldn't have forgot, because people keep calling me Steve. My name isn't Steve, it's Scott. No matter. Anyway, I came out here to Trinidad because I just wanted a place to sit and edit some videos. I edit all of my own videos, and I don't have a computer. I do them all on an iPad. I have this iPad Pro. This is not the newest version of an iPad, but being that it's an iPad Pro, it's really very capable for video editing, especially the videos that I edit. Trouble I have is it takes me a while to edit. I'm just not good at editing, and I'm certainly not going to farm out the editing to somebody else. I'd like to do it all myself. So because it takes me so long, I try to get myself in a place that I like to be. And then if I get tired, which my eyes get really tired when I'm just staring at a screen for a long time, I'll get out, step outside, walk around a little bit. And what better place to do it than in a beautiful place like this? So the idea was to park out here where I could open up my back hatch and have a nice clear view out to the pretty scenery, so that I could take little short breaks by just glancing over outside instead of having to get up. The idea being trying to get the video done, trying to get it edited. But with the wind, can't really do that. But I do have a new little thing I can utilize here. I can take down my back window covering. My grandmother made this for me a couple months back, and it was her idea to be able to set it up this way so that I could just fold it down and have access to my window. And I have not utilized this very often, but I think today it's going to work out very good. Can you see that I haven't washed my windows in a while? Hopefully not. Hopefully that's not showing up on camera. I should just show you how this is set up, shouldn't I? This is some polypropylene outdoor fabric, which my grandmother thought would work really well in this situation. It's supposed to be color fast even with the sun beating on it. My rear windows are tinted, but it does get pretty hot, and it does get quite a bit of sun even through the tinted window. And then she made these little pockets here for some magnets, and these are 30-pound pole magnets that are inside this little pocket, just encapsulated in there so that they don't fall out and hold really tightly that way. And then her other idea was to pin these sleeves on with some safety pins instead of actually sewing them in place. And I didn't quite understand that at first, but it proved to be a really good idea because some of the places around for the magnets are a little bit tricky. So because I can move them around and kind of avoid this rear windshield wiper motor assembly, it made it really easy just to get the magnets in place. So this has been working out really well, and it insulates really well, both cold and hot. And of course it provides a pretty good seal to keep it dark so that I can sleep comfortably at night. I've got a little cleaning up to do. I had some Velcro up here to hold my old window covering in place. So that old one didn't work nearly as well as this one, obviously. And this one looks a lot better too. But I've got to peel off the Velcro at some point. I've also got some magnets up here, and I was hoping that the magnets would be a way for me to hold the window covering kind of halfway up. Trouble is, these magnets demagnetized within a couple of hours of me putting them up. The sun kind of bakes on them, gets them hot enough to actually demagnetize them. Heat demagnetizes magnets. One of those little things that I never knew for years, but definitely an issue with these. So these aren't actually magnets anymore. So at some point I've got to get my paint scraper out and clean all this off. That'll be another day because I need to get to work. And yes, it is hard to work when there's such beautiful scenery outside. And I just noticed that there's somebody surfing out there too. I think he's too far out to see, but there's somebody surfing out there in that cold water and this cold air and wind. Okay, getting myself set up here. Got coffee at the ready and some chips to snack on. And close the side door to try to keep the noise down from outside. The one thing that I spend the most amount of time on when I'm editing is audio. Getting the clips together is a little bit time consuming sometimes, but the bulk of the time that I spend editing a video is editing audio. Just a crazy amount of time. I might spend a day and a half of time just editing audio alone. That's it. It's kind of normal that way. So I kind of need it to be a little bit quiet. That's why the wind here today was not expected and not helping me. But pretty nice that I can still have some outside light coming in. And it's pretty quiet in here with the doors closed. So I need to just get cracking here. This video that I'm working on has been difficult, more difficult than normal, which happens from time to time. So that's why I wanted to come out to a nice place, because it's just been extremely difficult getting this video done. So we'll see if this setup helps the situation at all. I keep looking outside. I haven't even started yet. I keep looking outside. It is definitely time for a break. Let me shut the iPad down here. I've had this iPad for a little while, and I bought it because the old iPad I had just wasn't able to handle editing. And even the simple edits that I do on my videos, it just was clogging up and it would crash all the time. And occasionally this one slows down a little bit, even though it's got a lot more memory in it. And that's what I think was wrong with the old iPad I had. It just didn't have enough memory. So I really like iPads. I think that they're a great computer. They are a real computer nowadays, even though people don't like to admit that. But they handle editing pretty well, depending on the software that you use. I use a app called LumaFusion. I think they call it LumaTouch for the iPad and iPhone, and LumaFusion for a computer. And it's a touch-based editing software, so it really works best on an iPad. I do have it on my phone. I cannot really handle editing a video on my phone. I know people that do it, and I don't know how they do it. LumaFusion is a pretty impressive app, and so there's a lot going on the screen. So I like having a nice large device to edit on. Otherwise, it's just too difficult. And one thing that I found helps is using the Apple Pencil, because you can kind of pinpoint where you're touching, where if you're trying to do it with your finger, you mess up a lot. I mess up a lot. I shouldn't talk for anybody else, but just not the easiest thing to use a finger on a smaller device. So I've got an iPad Pro, and this is the 12.9 inch one, which makes it a little bit easier. A lot more real estate there to to kind of work with. But really good piece of software. It's limited in some ways, but I really like it because it's a lot better than using iMovie, which I used for years and years. I used iMovie because it was a free app that came with my phone and my iPad, and so that's just what I used. But stepping up to LumaFusion, totally different. Even though I struggle with some videos, this one's given me a hard time. It's still much faster than iMovie ever was. Even the hardest video to edit is probably 50% faster using, well, probably some of that is having a larger screen with the larger iPad, but also just the LumaFusion app is just incredibly good and really robust. So if you're trying to edit your own videos, don't try using iMovie. Just go with something better like LumaFusion, I say anyway. And now I need to get some food because I am hungry. So just to get this done and to get back to editing, I'm making some salmon salad. So it's just some tinned salmon with some sun-dried tomato pesto, some olives, and some mayonnaise. And I was just going to toss it on some bread, but I decided to toast up the bread. Am I burning the bread? Yep, I sure am. This is what happens when I try to do too many things at one time. This is some really good sourdough from North Coast Co-op. One of the best food co-ops I have ever found anywhere. And I've been buying a lot of this, eating a lot of this. Wished I didn't burn this one. I guess it's not burnt too bad. I usually put some either chopped up pickles or some relish in here, but I keep forgetting to buy either pickles or relish. One of these days I will remember. But this is all right, except for the slightly burnt bit of toast. There's a lady, it looks like a lady and her two daughters out there. They're wearing shorts and t-shirts. Everybody else on the beach has, of course, long pants and coats on and hats and everything. It's cold out there. I don't know how they're doing that. Well, I went ahead and made another cup of coffee. Thought maybe it would help me focus a little bit more. It's a little bit of a waste to be making the coffee that I'm making. I've got some of the best coffee you can ever find anywhere. It's from my favorite coffee roaster called Fogline. It's a local company right here, just a few miles away from where we are right now. The company is based and they do all the roasting there. Little family-owned company. This is their Tanzania coffee. They've got quite a few that they always sell. And I picked out a couple different coffees from them a couple weeks back. Well, more than a couple weeks back, but getting down to the end of this bag, and I have thoroughly enjoyed this Tanzania coffee from Fogline. Just incredible stuff. But even as much as I've liked it, I want to get onto the new bag. And I like variety, both in scenery where I hang out and also maybe not what I eat, but with coffee anyway. I normally eat the same thing every day. I've been on a real enchilada kick the last couple of months, and I've been on a chili kick. I make a lot of chili constantly. That I'm still doing. And the enchiladas I'm still doing. I'm actually thinking enchiladas tonight for dinner. But good coffee always makes me feel good. And because this video is a bit of a headache, I thought the coffee might help. Yeah, I gotta get back to this. I don't think I'm gonna get this done today before I have to leave here, but I need to try to get as much done as I can, whittle away as much as I can. I don't know how much it's known, if it's really common knowledge or not, but a lot of YouTube channels do not edit their own videos, and it's something I'm a little bit puzzled by, and something I really don't agree with. I've known channels that were maybe just a few hundred subscribers, and they still don't edit their own videos. They actually farm that out to somebody. And there's no end to emails that I get from people saying that they're video editors and they want to edit my videos and tell me, that they'll do a great job for me and take all that off my plate. But even when I'm working on a video that's a little bit difficult, like this one has been, I would still much rather edit a video myself. Actually, the wording on that is not correct. I should just put it a little more bluntly, because that's really more correct. No one will ever edit one of my videos for me, ever. I feel very strongly about that. I think if you're a YouTube channel, at least like mine, we should be editing our own videos. I have friends that feel the same way, but I also have friends that don't edit their own videos and have video editors that do it for them. Again, I don't understand it. You should be doing your own editing. I know that everybody's got things to do and stuff, but if you think about it this way, actually, just to dive into this a little bit further, all of these emails that I get from people wanting to edit my videos, they say, hey, we'll take all that work that you have to do editing the videos and we'll do it and save you all that time. Well, think about this though. I'm a nomad. I don't have a really good internet connection. So I also don't have Starlink satellite connection. So all of the clips that I take during the day, I'd have to get those off of my phone, upload those to the cloud so that somebody could edit all those clips someplace else away from me. Because otherwise, how are they going to get the video clips off of my phone, right? So that might be like the video that I'm working on right now, close to 100 clips in that video, and probably about 2 hours worth of video that I'm sifting through and deciding what's going to make it into the video, what's going to get just tossed, because there's a lot that I record that never actually gets onto a video. If you don't record it, then you don't have it to add. So I tend to record a lot and then just use whatever is good. Sometimes the audio's bad, sometimes the video's bad. Oftentimes, these days I'm shaky when I'm recording, so all of that just gets tossed away. But all of that having to upload, especially not on a fast internet connection, means I would be spending all of my time trying to just upload the videos so that somebody else could put them together. It wouldn't save me any time. It would be more time that way. And somebody's car alarm is going off. That's annoying. So there's always things that are going to bother me editing, and that's one of those outside noise. Yeah, even that, I don't mind editing my own videos. And back to it. Oh, okay. If there's one thing that I kind of need to work on at some point is a little better space to sit and edit on my iPad. I have been sitting on my bed, as you probably noticed before. Then I thought, maybe I should sit down here, and I was thinking if I had maybe another cutting board, I could put a cutting board on top of my sink here, and it would be kind of the perfect height for, like a desk, a workstation, more or less. So I'm kind of thinking about that. I could use a new cutting board, and it would be easy to store away and easy just to set up here. And I can sit upright a little bit more. I've got a little bit more leg room here too, so all the way around it probably would be a good idea to work on that at some point. I'm still having trouble with this edit, and the last several videos have been a little bit difficult. Recently I did a video where I was walking around outside in the rain, and my phone and my microphone got wet. Now my phone has some water resistancy to it, I think they try to tout them as being waterproof, but they're not waterproof. But they are, fairly water resistant. It wasn't a heavy rain that I was in, but the phone really wasn't an issue. But the microphone system that I use is not water resistant whatsoever. And ever since then, I've been having audio issues. So I'm hoping that the system is okay, but I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm thinking maybe something is gone wrong with it. Don't really want to buy a new microphone. Although the one that I've been looking at's on sale, so if I have to buy one, I have to buy one. It's one of those little added costs that I unfortunately have to pay for because my voice does not travel. So if I'm trying to rely on the microphones in the camera itself, it just doesn't cut it. And it's just because of the tone of my voice. Early on, I didn't use a microphone for the longest time. And that was another one of those things that as soon as I bought a microphone system, all of a sudden that shaved off a ton of time of my editing time. And I'm kind of seeing that now. Although it's inconsistent. The last several videos, it's been a little inconsistent. Sometimes the audio's good at a good level, and sometimes it's not. So there's something up with the microphone. Probably because I got it wet, but we'll see. I do have a backup microphone, so it's not like I need to buy something else. But the one that I have been using normally works really well. So I'm holding out hope that I'm just, that there's some user error going on. Maybe I'll use my old backup one for the next video and see if that makes a difference. There's always something to mess me up and slow me down. Although on a day like today, I don't really want to be outside all that much. It's so windy, and that's the one thing that bugs me, is being outside in the wind. Bothers my eyes, it bothers my ears. So I'm content to sitting in the van here. But now that I thought of this little workstation area, this would make it even better. So I gotta do that. Stop to the store. One of these days, get to one of the little outlet type stores and see if I can find a cutting board that would go on top of that, because I can use a larger cutting board from time to time. I've been wanting one. So there we go. There's the answer. It is still beautiful outside though. I don't know how people are sitting on the beach and enjoying it out there, but there are a lot of people just sitting on the beach and enjoying it. I'm enjoying it just fine in here, cutting down on the wind a bit. It's probably a good idea to give my old backup microphone system a try. This is it. This is from a company called Deity. Deity, I think, makes the best mics for the price. They make professional quality stuff, but they also make consumer grade stuff. And unfortunately, this system is no longer being made. There are still some available, mostly used though, around. And I actually like this system better than the one that I'm using right now. The sound is much better, and it was a lot more reliable. I never had any trouble with this one, except that these have internal batteries that are rechargeable, of course. It's what I'm doing now, but they're not user replaceable batteries. And I was noticing that on the microphone one, so this would be the microphone, this would be the receiver. So the receiver would plug into my phone. It would also plug into a camera or a computer or something too. And then the microphone you either clip on you, or the way I use it is I plug in a wireless or a wired lav into this wireless system. It actually comes with a lavalier microphone here that you can plug in, and it's a really nice little kit. Came with all this stuff, and like I said, sound quality was better than the one that I'm using now. It was just that the battery life had gotten to be pretty poor on this. I was getting sometimes 2 hours. That's it, and then I have to recharge the microphone part of it. So I got a little bit annoyed with having to stop multiple times during a day and recharge it. They don't charge very quickly, so I'd charge it for as long as I could, plug it back in, clip it back on, get going again, and record as long as I could until I'd have to charge it again. And it just became an issue where I was having to change my vlogs to accommodate the microphone system, and I thought that's not good. So I don't want to have to think about this stuff. So that's why I bought the new system, and the new system's got much better battery life, but it doesn't sound quite as good as this Deity system. It's too bad they don't still make this. I wouldn't buy another one of these just because if something goes wrong with it, they're not fixable, and because the battery cannot be replaced. At least I can't do it. Probably not the best system, but I'm going to give it a try next video. Let's see, how did I do? I think I missed a spot or two. It's better though. Well, the wind has picked up to a point where I can't hear what I'm doing. So I think I'm done editing the video for a little while. I'll probably have to pick that up later. I can't park here overnight, it's not allowed, so I'll probably be parking somewhere inland, and hopefully it'll be away from the wind and quieter, and then I can finish the edit. In situations like this, I do have some studio monitor headphones, and they kind of seal around my ears and help me edit a little bit better. But I have no idea where I put them. They're buried away somewhere, and I have no idea where to even begin to dig to look to find them. So I'm just gonna use this opportunity to take a break, make some dinner, and then I'll get back to it later. But I thought this is a good opportunity also to show you my old microphone system versus my new microphone system. So what I did was I swapped out the microphones. Now I'm still using my wired lavalier microphone. I have it on my lapel here. I just stick it on my lapel. It's a nice way to kind of just hide it away. I don't like seeing a microphone. A lot of people hold a microphone, and I can't stand that. But also, this gives me a little bit of wind protection because it's under my shirt. Now, a funny thing, in doing my sound checks here, getting the microphone switched around, I know I said earlier that I thought that my older system, the one that you're hearing now, sounded better than my new system, but now I'm not quite so sure. It'll be interesting to see what it sounds like when I get to editing, but when I had first bought the new system, I wasn't upset with the sound quality. I just thought that it didn't sound quite as good as this system, and now it's kind of funny that I'm not quite sure if that's really true or not. Anyway, I just thought that this would be cool to give you a little different sounds to see if you can notice any difference. You're probably not going to notice any different because I am using the same microphone. It is a different system that sends it electronically over to my phone to record. So we'll see if there's any difference in sound. I'm guessing there's not going to be a big difference. But this is the newer system. This is a system called Hollyland Lark Max, and Hollyland makes a bunch of different microphones, and they make several that are called the Hollyland Lark, but this is the Max system that it's supposed to have a little bit better sound quality, and it also has the ability to plug in a wired lavalier microphone like I'm doing. So that's why I went with this one. This is a little bit of an oddball system with the Lark Max models because they normally sell this with 2 microphones, and it comes with a wireless charging box. And those are things that I didn't think that I needed. I just need a simple system, right? It's just me talking. I don't need 2 microphones. I don't need a charging box. They're rather easy to charge. You just plug them in with a USB-C plug on the bottom of them. So that kind of worked for me. So I like the system. I think this is kind of a sleeper little microphone that not a lot of people know about, simply because the competition spends more money on marketing than Hollyland does. The big names with these microphone systems are an Australian company called Rode, spelled R-O-D-E. They're very popular, as well as another company that makes mostly drones, although they do make cameras as well, called DJI. And they're both very expensive systems, especially compared to other companies like Hollyland. The Rode systems I stay away from. They don't work very well for my voice, and that is something to keep in mind. If you're looking for a microphone, you need to buy a microphone that matches your voice. So Rode systems don't work well for me because my voice sounds very muddy on a Rode microphone. Nothing really wrong with Rode microphones necessarily, it's just they just don't work with my voice. And then the DJIs, one, I don't like the price of DJI, but also the quality of them is really not very good. Most people put up with the kind of poor sound quality on the DJI systems because they work kind of seamlessly with their drones or their cameras. So if you have a DJI drone or camera, you're more likely to buy one of their microphones, even though the sound quality is not that great. But this one I've been happy with, and that's why I do recommend it. But you do really need to find the correct microphone match. It's not just the features that they have. You need to find one that has the sound quality that matches your voice. Otherwise, you're not going to be happy with it at all. So there's some options to look into there, and just a little more of the kind of behind the scenes here that I normally don't show on regular videos. So hopefully you found a little bit of this interesting. I don't imagine most people find this kind of behind the scenes stuff interesting, but we'll see. Anyway, I think that's about it. I will make some dinner, enchiladas probably, most certainly enchiladas, and then I'll get back to editing. I'm hoping I can get that video edited tonight, because it's been a long slog on that video. I think I've been working on it for 2.5 days now. I want to be done with it and move on to something else. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate it.